Will Taylor. I am actually trying to do two broadcasts at the same time, one on YouTube and one here on Facebook. If you're just tuning in, if you're just tuning in, my name is Will Taylor. I'm a jazz. Oh, it says my connection is weak. Let me try this again. I'll be right back. For those of you who are watching here, nobody's watching, so. Just going to pour some coffee. Let's just test if this is working over here. Oh, we got one viewer now. How's it going? I'm trying to get my Facebook thing up and it's not working, so if you could just bear with me. iPhone crashed. All right. This is a funny thing. We're talking about being unstuck, and I'm stuck with this video not working. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right there. Get this Facebook feed to come back up. Hasn't done this before. So I'm going to restart Facebook. Maybe I'll come over here and do it over here. Let's try this again. All right. Good morning, everyone. Hey, it's Will Taylor. I'm trying 2 different broadcasts at once. We're live on Facebook as well as live on YouTube at the same time. So anyway, this video is about getting unstuck, and I'm a jazz violinist from Austin, Texas, bringing you music every week for our Hump Day Happy Hour at El Mercado. You can watch this live on Facebook every week, no matter wherever you are in the world. And if you also look, if you're on Facebook, and if you want to get notified when we go live on our shows in Austin, we're going to be trying to upgrade the quality and all that. And so stay tuned, get better sound. Matter of fact, David Barrow is right there online helping us with that. And every Wednesday, but actually starting in December, we're moving to Thursdays. And today, we have a wonderful artist named Kim Miller, who I've included a song on this broadcast. If you look down, you'll see the lyrics in the song I'm going to relate to real quickly to my talk. A few people have said that my talks are too long, and I like to improvise them. The reason why I like to improvise them is I feel like they're more authentic than if I'm running off of a script. And I'm looking at you right there, looking into your eyes, because I know that there are 4 people right now. We have Sharon Rickard joining us. And I'm going to try to make it really quick, but coming from my heart, true stories that I like to bring people, things that I've experienced in my life that hopefully will help you, things that are coming up for me, not just bringing you music, but as a musician, I think we like to tap into, you know, and bring our own experiences with lyrics and music, and you know, we're trying to heal and help people just with our experiences. Help people move to another place, maybe with our vibrations, to move to a healthier place. So what came up for me, and this is based in a true story. Hey, Bob, how's it going? The idea of being unstuck. How many of you ever been stuck before in life where you feel like your brain is in a loop, you feel like your heart is in a loop, your emotions are in a loop, and you're searching for a way to get back to kind of that homeostasis, you know, that place, kind of that birth default mode when we were born as children, and our bodies and our minds are at a state of peace. You know, that's our birthright. How many of you would like to get back to that homeostasis place? Well, what happened to me about 2 years ago, I found myself spiraling into, you could say, a depression, you could say a dark place. And I had a really hard time sleeping for a month, and I was caught in this loop. I would walk around and find myself, you know, even in this beautiful land that I live in, you know, looking at the ground and just having these same thoughts going over and over again in my head. How am I going to get out of this? Is this going to be, am I going to be stuck in this for forever? You know, how will I be able to function? Now, for those of you that are watching, the advice I'm giving you, if you're really having a hard time, you know, this is not professional advice, so this is my disclaimer. You know, if you need help, go get help. But what I find is that any kind of health is a process that we have to keep in. And so what I found when I was in this place where I was stuck in a loop for a very long time, not being able to sleep. Anyway, this has happened to me. So this happened 2 years ago. And I believe that many of us can really get to the other side of this without drugs, that there are natural methods, that are ancient methods of just self-care and taking care of ourselves. So what happened to me, just to bring this to the present, is the other day, once again, self-care, those are the things that, you know, it's a process to keep ourselves healthy. So I was doing ecstatic dance. This is one of the things that I do to take care of myself when I have difficult emotions come up, is I like to ecstatic dance. I have a number of things, a number of processes that I use. So I was doing ecstatic dance last Friday, and I was doing it specifically to move some dark emotional shit out of my body, and just moving the body. And after the ecstatic dance, I came outside and I met up, a friend came over and said, "You're going?" And I said, "Yeah, I feel like I've moved out the crap that I need to move out." And she looked like she was distressed. And I said to her, I said, "What's up?" And she said, "Well, can you give me some of that positive energy? I mean, I really need some of that right now." So I gave her a hug, and then I asked her what was going on. And she told me that she was in this place where she was just stuck in her head and loops were going around and she couldn't get out of her head. So I said, "Well, would you mind if I share with you some of the things that have helped me when I get stuck in the head?" Obviously, doing the ecstatic dance is helpful. But what I told her was, and I'll give you the two things, and this is related to the song that Kim Miller shared with me below, which is related to homeostasis, that beautiful place where we exist with nature in harmony. But what I told my friend was, so you need to find something to knock yourself almost on the side of the head out of this loop that you're in. And it needs to be something almost akin to falling in love, an activity that will push away these neural pathways that are being active. It'll just push them out of the picture, so that it's almost like when you're in love, all that matters is that person and that relationship and those beautiful chemicals, dopamine and oxytocin that come up. So you need to find an activity that is almost akin to falling in love, whatever that is going to knock yourself out. And then you'll find these little places, little moments when you will forget the depression, when you forget the anxiety, and you'll start believing that. And that little teeny, maybe it's only 30 seconds, maybe it's 15 seconds, when you will lapse into another dream, the dream that everything is okay, the dream that everything is going to be okay. So for me, it was, and I shared with her, the thing that was akin to falling in love was I started doing Uber and Lyft. And I found that when people came in the car and I started up these authentic conversations, that I was able to be fully present, and the anxiety and that loop that I was in floated away. And I found it increasingly 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours more. And I was able to find myself back to this place of homeostasis. Now, I also started meditating at the time. And the idea of meditation, this is the other tool that I gave her. So one, I said, find something, an activity, even if it only gives you a sliver of peace, an activity that is almost akin to falling in love, photography, whatever it is, make a list. That's my first suggestion to her. And the second one was giving yourself permission to feel whatever comes up. That was the other thing that really, really helped me. Instead of sort of trying to outsmart the feelings and hide from the feelings, is to just go for it and trust that you aren't going to die, and just give yourself, I said, I'm going to give myself permission to feel whatever anxiety, feelings, whatever come up, and fully feel them in my body 100%, and dance them out and run them out. So that was my other suggestion to her, that, you know, maybe you just say, you know what, maybe I won't sleep tonight, but that's okay. You know, and just by being okay with it, you get this little sliver of a possibility of these neural pathways developing. So anyway, those were the two suggestions that I gave her to getting out of that unstuck place. But I really think if you read Kim's song, that a big part of it is reconnecting with nature, and that part of ourselves that is in line with nature. And when I started meditating and gently allowing my mind to go where it needed to go, but just watching my mind and watching my body breathe, I was able to find myself gradually back into this place, this birth place, the place that we are when we were born, the default mode of relaxation and peace and homeostasis, where when you're born. So I was gradually able to find myself back in that place during the meditation. And then using that practice, I can come back to that when I need to, with varying other things that I do, like tapping and breathing and focusing on my breath. So life will throw many challenges at you, and this is a process, and you never arrive. And so I found that having these techniques, these processes, these new neural pathways, we're able to open this new window of possibility, where then I can bring this to other people, and other people, like this friend of mine who I ran into at Ecstatic Dance, want to have some of that energy, that positive energy. So, you know, when we focus on being right with ourselves and loving ourselves and giving ourselves permission to feel the feelings and not judging ourselves, we start from that place of self-love, then it can radiate out to being present for others and helping others. And that's the amazing thing after 2 years that I've come to, and being able to tie that in with my music, like tonight at Hump Day Happy Hour, is just a great feeling. But again, it's not a feeling of arriving anywhere. It's a feeling of, well, here's what works. Here are the processes that work. Here's what I have to keep doing, because the world is going to keep throwing things at me. And my mind is going to keep wanting to, my ego is going to want to keep attaching to these things and defining them. So that's my quick couple of thoughts on becoming unstuck. I'd be curious on what you guys think about. I've only had one comment below. And I hope to see many of you tonight. If you want to get informed of when we do live videos, you can, if you're on Facebook, there's a little link, should be a link there that says notify me when I go live. So anywhere in the world, you can see the Hump Day Happy Hour event that we do every Wednesday live on Facebook, and also on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And I hope to see many of you out there in the world, live or otherwise. And I hope this message was helpful. And I would love it if you were to share this message with anybody you think it might make a difference. And if there's anything you want me to talk about in the future, I tend to kind of go with what comes up. And but if there's anything you'd like to know from me, let me know below. Shoot me an email. And tonight I hope to do a little interview with Kim Miller. Now, I spent a while talking about that from my experience, but if you look at Kim's song, it talks about here, a view unspoiled, a quiet walk when the world gets full of too much talk. So again, in the carve of a canyon, in the beat of a wing, space and time, it is all a dream. A road runs out, a river springs, nature has a way with things. A knowing smile, that fingers trace, history written on her face. I love that line, history written on our face. So I think of lines in a person's face, or other people think of wrinkles and they think of that as a negative thing. I always looked at wrinkles as beauty to me, because that's history, their history of their lives written into their face. Lines of surrender, lines of grace, lines we never can erase. So, you know, get back in touch with how you are a part of nature, how you can back away and you can watch your body breathe and find that place of homeostasis And when you find that place, you'll find that lots of creativity starts to happen. Things just appear. Or you could just enjoy how it feels. So I hope to see you guys tonight. And that song by Kim Miller below that I included, read that and see how that might apply to my talk here. And I hope to see many of you online at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be broadcasting that show. And in the coming months and years, I hope to develop this show into something that is really high quality, great sound, great music, great interviews. I hope to interview Kim Miller tonight. So be sure to share this video and click on being notified for future videos. And we'll see you around. Thanks for being a fan of what I do, and love every one of you. And we'll see you around. Okay, bye. See you guys. Take care.